Hello and welcome to another Advisory Live here with OK Student. I'm very excited to be here today. As you know, my name is Mariana. I'm your head of advisors, and I'm here with two of my great colleagues. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, this is Mainul Islam. Hi again, everyone. I'm an advisor here with OK Student, also a master student in Nottingham Trent University. This is my second year working with OK Student, and I'm very pleased to be here with Mariana and my good friend and colleague, Stefan. Please.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Stefan. I'm one of the student advisors for OK Student. Also as AT, it's my second year doing work with OK Student. Originally, I'm from Croatia, so I'm a recent graduate from a master's from a UK university. And yeah, looking forward to talk to you two guys.
I often forget that both of you have been with OK Student longer than me. Basically, I'm about to turn my first year, and you guys are already like a few months into your second year here. That's really nice. I'm glad that you're enjoying being here with us. AT as well has been doing lives for the last 2 consecutive days, so you must have seen him on our other lives, our student stories, and our applicant live. If not, feel free to tune into that. And as always, we're going to be answering your questions live here. So do comment below if you have any questions or if you just want to participate in our conversation about life in the UK. Because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Right, guys? We're going to be talking about life in the UK. So both Stefan and AT have lived in the UK for a really long time as students. And we thought it would be a really good idea to give you a real insight into what a student's life is in the UK. So which one of you wants to start? Like, I want to know your stories of how you came to the UK, how long you've been here, all of this.
Yeah, so I might as well start, like, just to say, so this is my 5th year that I'm in the UK. I came here in 2016, yes, for the bachelor, and then I continued in a master's, and I'm currently going into 5th year now with the employment in OK Student. So I think one of the things that we can't avoid when saying about life and the experiences in the UK is different between the cultures. So I think that's something normal. As soon as you cross the border into another country, you're gonna definitely notice some cultural changes. So that was like the cultural shock that we always like to mention. I always say to the people who are coming to study here that is the first thing that you're gonna feel 100%.
Definitely. I totally agree with Stefan. I'm from Bangladesh, and this is my 7th year going in the UK. I mean, living in the UK consecutively without having any break. I came here back in 2014 as a foundation student, and now I realize why having a foundation is very important. Because as Stefan mentioned, having a culture shock and also adapting yourself with the British education system and also the culture, you will be very, very happy if you have an extra year to actually understand the education and also the processes and living in the UK and also knowing the culture. So the first 1 year was really, really, I wouldn't say that's very difficult, but very different than where I was from. And I found it like very impressive the way actually the institute helped us, a student like me who are from Bangladesh or India or Pakistan, because we study completely different system than what is in the UK. And also that helps us to settle down a bit with the society and also finding out the different stories and also different places in the UK where actually you can spend time and you can actually learn something and you can go forward. And that was great. And often I discuss with Stefan in the office about our time in the UK and how actually we came as a kind of like a baby boy from home, then grew up as a man now. I mean, I consider ourselves, and this transformation is very impressive. and working with OK after completing, our undergrads, and meantime I was studying in the postgrad as well as Stefan was doing same, and that journey was incredible. And if anybody have any question to find out how we actually settled ourselves down in the UK and actually managed things, please hit a comment. And yes.
Yeah, guys. So comment below if you have any questions, if you want to participate in our conversation about life in the UK today. AT, I think what you said about foundations and cultural shock is really, really relevant. So I wanted to ask you both, like, did you feel a lot of cultural shock and how did you overcome it? Starting with Stefan here.
Yeah, well, 100%. I think even when coming in the airport, you straight away feel it at that first flight, like coming into the UK. It is, I would say, me being from a small European country, so I believe that similarities in culture between the UK and Croatia are maybe much larger than it is from a place far away like Bangladesh is, like where IIT is from. So I think that there were some similarities that I felt welcome with and completely used to, while the others I just had to get adjusted for, and I had to get used to them. So I think one of the things that I would advise everybody to do is to go there, embrace the culture of Britain, integrate yourselves into it. I see a lot of European and international students who just come into the UK and then spend time only with their fellow countrymen, and don't get any friends that are British or anything like that, which I think, in my opinion, is completely wrong. But that's at least me. Of course, I do understand people who are doing that, and that's completely okay. But for me, I had a completely different experience where I embraced the British culture, embraced the way people are living here, and I kind of am living now in the mixture of Croatian and British life, which I think one of the beautifulness of coming to UK and multiculturality. So that is my impression. I don't know, At, how did you find it?
Well, at the beginning, it was a bit difficult. I was struggling to keep up with the culture and the differences from where I'm from and where I'm already now. And it's few months it took from me just to understand what it is and how I can actually interact with the students or fellow students in my class. And you are right, like the student from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, or maybe other European countries, when they come over to the UK, they try to stick with their own people rather going and exploring the other, student from different nationalities. Then basically that foundation program actually helped me understanding and also exploring the different cultural norms and also cultural way of interacting with people. So there was not only the British people in my class. I'm a British student. There were some other students from different countries. For example, China. For example, Mexico, Brazil. That was really good mixture of students. So that's how actually we went together. I mean, like go out, try to spend some time together, have a coffee, have a decent discussions about their own culture, their family, their aspiration, dreams, goals. And it took like around 2-3 months to really know the differences and also how I actually can interact with them, because it can be very offended if you don't know someone else's way of communication and you can just jump on and say something. So basically, it is my personal impression. Like I took time, I observed a lot, I tried to learn through observation rather than going directly and do some books reading and also watching some YouTubes and go jump on. I would suggest students to actually take time to observe and obviously try to have a conversation. Obviously, you'll stick with your own people because every student, I mean, from different countries, they have their societies, most of them. So you find your own people, own students in those societies. It's good in a way, and also mixing with other societies will give an broad knowledge about different cultures. Like Stefan and me, I think we studied marketing a bit, or I'm not sure. I studied marketing, so it's a very big part of marketing, understanding the culture. So the country where I'm from, we are very conservative, collective in nature. But the country I was, I mean, when I came here, it's very individualistic. So that was like a kind of what do you call decoding the different cultural norms, the way of talking, the conversation style, and also making jokes. So it was all happened, I mean, normally to me, the way I was actually observing them and also taking them in account, like what I can do, what I cannot, and also making friends regardless the nations, the borders, or religion or community.
Yeah. And I
That's
really want to
that's
hear,
perfect.
yeah, sorry, Mariana. I really want to hear your opinion about this because
Yeah,
I know that Mariana is a person who always thanks me when it's not needed to say thanks. So even when she does something for me, she's completely goes British in that way. And like she does something, helps me in a way, and then she says thank you. So I really want to hear Mariana's opinion on all of this.
Well, I'm totally assimilated into the culture by now. But compared to you guys, I'm a baby here. Like I've been here, I don't know, I don't even live here currently. I live in Lisbon. I just moved here. It's cold. I don't like it. I was having a great time in Lisbon. It was still summer, and then suddenly I got here and the hour changed, and now it's cold and dark at 5 p.m. It's been great. However, I did my undergraduate degree here at Anglo Ruskin University in Cambridge, and I was there for 3 years. Then I moved back to Portugal for about 5 years, and now I live in between these two countries, so in between the UK and Portugal. It's been really interesting to be able to do that, and I do feel like I live in between cultures now, which is quite a weird way of doing things because they're completely opposite cultures almost, especially in the European context. So when I first got here, I think that like what Stefan said in relation to us only having friends of our own nationalities is really relevant. Because when I got here, I only knew Portuguese people, and then I made a really big effort not to know any Portuguese people. So the friends that I have from my university are actually all international or all European. And that has helped me countless times throughout like both my uni life and through like my life in general. So I really think it's important for us to not close ourselves in our own cultures, but also not close ourselves into British culture, right? Because British culture is multicultural in the end, and it's such a melting pot that if we like think that we only want to have British friends as well, we're incurring an error. Um, I think what AT said about societies is really relevant as well, and that's basically what I was going to ask you to about. Is if you think that joining societies outside of one's nationality is a good way of socializing. Because, for example, I joined Enactus when I was at Cambridge, when I was at Anglia Ruskin in Cambridge, and it was one of the best ways to like meet people who were interested in the same things as I was, which was at the time social entrepreneurship. Um, so I don't know. What do you think about this sort of idea to socialize?
No, I would agree with you, Mariana, 100%. So the first thing, so a little bit like my story when I started my bachelor at Nottingham Trent University back in 2016, and when we came here, there were only I think maybe 9 or 10 Croatians that came. So we were like the first generation that came to this university. So pretty much I knew nobody. I just came to Nottingham. Came to Nottingham, came to study here, and it was like what to do now, how to find friends. And then bad thing is I used to play sports back home, but played a team sport. What did I do first? So went found a sports club at the university and joined it. And I think even that being a team sport helped me a lot in finding friends, finding people that I can spend time with. And that is I think one of the best moves that I've done at the beginning.
yeah, definitely. Well, myself, I wasn't a member with any of the societies, but I was an active member with Global Launch. I always loved it. So you sit there, you actually meet with students from every corner of the world. So it was really nice. I met students from China, from Taiwan, from Mexico, from United States, and it was just all fun. And also from African countries, for example, Ivory Coast. I used to call someone, I forget his real name. His name is Jimmy, but I always used to call him Drogba because he used to looks like Drogba, and I'm a big fan of Drogba. I mean, the footballer from Chelsea. So we used to play. I mean, those football. What do you call it?
Yeah, foosball.
Football.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't able to beat him out because I always used to tell him after getting the after losing. Well, of course, you cannot beat Drogba in football. That's the truth. Well, so this is one example of actually making friends because the Global Lounge welcomes international students, and that's the best way to interact and also making friends. And I have few friends whom I actually met in Global Lounge, and we are still connected. One student from Kenya, the picture guy. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Manuel. So that's how actually you come across with people, and obviously if you are a bit open, I mean welcoming, and in nature, I mean you try to know and also want to know about someone else, it's always helps to basically making friends, because as Stefan said, when he was in NTU there was barely 5 or 9 students from Croatia. But when I started in NTU, there was only 2, 3 students from Bangladesh. So we used to often feel so lonely in the campus. So Global Lounge used to be our playing place, I mean, ground. Just to sit there, you'll find someone from Syria. So you talk about the politics, current politics in Syria. I mean, someone from PhD who's doing PhD in NTU. So we're not only also talking about the personal and also political things, you can also get to know about how you can get a PhD application done through the at Nottingham Trent University. How can you access to the funds? Maybe you are not doing it for yourself, but you do have the knowledge. If you want to do in future, you know how to do it. So I think societies and also Global Lounge are very, very important. And different societies, for example, like Indian societies, China has different, I mean, 2, 3 different societies, and also, for example, language clubs, if I'm not wrong, in NTU, where actually you can go and sit in a specific day, and the language you want to learn. For example, you want to learn Spanish, you go to that specific time advertised in Global Lounge, and you sit with someone from Spain. So he or she will try to teach you about the language. So it's really nice, rather feeling lonely without having your own countrymen. Better to go and find someone which actually be entertaining and also beneficial for future.
Exactly. Like, I fully agree. And to be honest, I think each time we speak or each time we have a live together, you mentioned Global Lounge. This is the thing for you. It's like Global Lounge is like the place where, like, to be honest, when I was at NTU, because I did part of my master's at NTU as well, that was one of the best things was Global Lounge, having free coffee every time, having free food on Wednesdays. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to think, to be honest, there's a part of me that thinks that you might be getting commission from Global Lounge and from NTU to promote them, but I don't know. So let's leave that for a later conversation.
Well,
But what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to like pick up is this idea that you talked about conversation cafes. So we talked about societies here, we talked about the Global Lounge, and these are the things that your university can offer you. But there are events outside of university that students can access in order to be able to meet people, right? So what do you both think, or like, what were the resources that really helped you outside of university in finding friends in the UK?
I think it's always going to be the events are always going to be outside of any maybe like what you hear and what other people say, what they recommend. I think that is going to be the most trusted, of course, events, and then you go and visit them. So I would say that I came across, so I started sports at the university. I started doing it there, and then I moved on to like doing sport for a local club. It helped me quite a lot to assimilate within Nottingham, to meet some other people, than students, to get a lot of new friends, a lot of new mates. So that's one of the positives. But definitely when it comes to events outside of the university, and now it's gonna come me who lived in London for a full year. It's just crazy how much you have them. Like everything from the most famous ones like Winter Wonderland, the ones that you can go out there, to really specific ones when they're organizing like for Indian societies, for even from my region. So I would say Balkan societies. I can't even say it, but yeah, let's pretend that something like that does exist. So I believe that there are a lot of events even outside of university to get you there.
I sense some like I sense some aggressiveness about not having like a Balkan society. Is this something that you're going to create in
No,
the next few
no, no,
years in
no,
NTU?
no. That's correct. It does exist. It does exist. It's just kind of problematic what people think of it. Whether you're gonna take Balkan as a geographical
Yeah,
like meaning or mentality. They are two different. So you can include ones, all of them in geographically. You can in mentality, some in mentality. You know, it's crazy politics of Southeastern Europe, I would say.
yeah, yeah. So, well, I want to actually put something forward, like we are talking like life in the UK. Um, well, I want to know from both of you. It's my question, personal question. When you actually first arrived in the UK, what are the first thing you have done? I mean, for
What do you
example,
mean? In like the first day?
no, not at the first day. I mean, the first necessary or maybe essential stuff you have to do, like enrolling. I mean, enrollment, and after the enrollment, like getting sorted your NI, also bank account, and also registering with GP. So, how actually you dealt with it, and was it very difficult? And what was your experience?
All
Can I
right.
tell you something? Just one thing. Sorry, Mariana. The first thing that I've done when I came to the UK was
Oh
a
my god.
kebab.
Oh my god, Stefan.
Definitely. That was a kebab. So I went for food. I was tired from my flight. So I'm going to be honest with all of you and saying the first thing I've done is a kebab. And then later on, we can talk about enrollment and then further things. But yeah, kebab was
Hungry,
definitely the first
hungry
thing.
Stefan. We have a new hashtag, and that is hungry Stefan or fuming Stefan.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
Now,
very good.
Mariana, you go with the enrollment and
All
the
right,
bank
so I
account.
actually had like a serious response to this. So when I got to the UK, I had like a to-do list, like a checklist of things. Obviously, it didn't go the way I wanted to because I really wish I had OK Student on my corner at that time because it would have been so important to me. And when I landed in the UK, that was like the moment that I was like, I really need like somebody to help me with this. And I think that's the most valuable work that we do because it's so easy for you to just get completely lost in all of the things that you need to do. So, for example, I opened my bank account in the wrong bank. I opened it at Barclays, and Barclays made me pay like maintenance fees for I don't know how long. I needed to change on to Lloyd's like 3 months later. It was a whole problem. I didn't know how to search for a job, or like I knew, but I didn't know the best ways to search
yeah,
for a job. So I was constantly on like Gumtree. But then I didn't really get like a lot out of, for example, the employability office at my university because I knew that they existed and I registered, but I didn't know how they could help me. So that would have been the things that would have been really important for me to have someone like OK Student
yeah,
on my corner, ready to help me, an advisor that I could message and say like, okay, I'm having problems with this. How do I do this? How do I do that? This sort of thing. I think the easiest thing in the middle of all of that was getting my NIN because basically I had to like call a number because I'm European as well. So I had to just like call a number, go to the interview, get the NIN, and that was done. But like everything else was so complicated that that's really why I think like you really need someone to help you with these things, especially if you're young, especially if you're coming in from like your high school, If you're
Yeah,
coming for an undergraduate or a foundation degree, if you've never done this sort of thing before, if you've never rented a house, if you've never worked, if you've never even shared a house with people outside of your family, it's quite good to have someone who can help you figure out what's happening and who can give you some tips and tricks as to how you can make your life easier.
definitely. Thank you.
No, and I
Stefan,
think also, yeah, one thing would be never be shy of asking questions. I think that's one of the tips that I would do. Something you don't know on how to do or how to at least start, definitely ask questions, whether that's going to be your advisor, whether that's going to be somebody in the university. I
Yeah,
think that's the best way forward.
definitely.
definitely, it's like it's so important. But what about you, At? What were like the things that you did like right away when you got here?
Well, it's very similar. I mean, at first, everybody do their research before they come to a new country and for a living. So I did my research as well, but you know that nothing goes according to plan. It's not easy to stick on the plan when you are in actual pitch. So obviously, when I was here, so I had to deal with them as same as yours, like to finding the GP, to complete the NIN inquiries, opening a bank account, and also registering yourself. I mean, doing enrollment. So it was really difficult for me. It took nearly 1.5 months to complete all of them. And also, I had nobody who can actually advise me apart from like giving a discrete kind of like direction, not a specific one. Okay, so because actually I haven't been in touch with someone who actually been through the process, done it the way I had to do it. So, well, I found it very stressful on that time until I have managed to complete all of them. And when I actually opened a bank account and also completed my NIN, actually NIN took more than 2 months because I am from outside Europe, so I had to call them. They'll send me a form, then I have to fill it up, then I have to return it, then they will send me the NIN, and I have to send my passport as well alongside with that. So there was no interview, but now they put an interview together, but it was quite difficult. The student, a young student like me who never been outside his country, has no idea about the real world, and suddenly you're in an ocean without any direction, no compass as well. So that's how actually I felt like the students who are coming this year, or maybe coming years, who are with us, or maybe they're coming by themselves. If they're watching it, please try to get in touch with someone who has done this process by themselves, or the best way to sort it out, get in touch with a student.
Yes, get in touch with us if you have any problems, if you want help moving here. Send us an email at info@okstudent.co.uk is right down below, or send us your details through the form at okstudent.co.uk/form. We're here to help you with all of this. Don't make the same mistakes as we did. Do make your own mistakes. Make your new mistakes, guys. If we're telling you that this is important, it's because it is. We've learned from experience.
Yes.
And as always, comment any questions you may have below, or share with us your experience of moving to the UK and how that was. So, and I know that both of you worked part-time during your degrees, right?
Yeah.
So how was that process for you? How did you find a job, and yeah, all of it?
So I think so coming from a European standpoint of view, and when you're European coming to the UK, so I had quite a similar procedure to international students because back then when I was coming, we still so only Croatia and Bulgaria from EU. We had to get so-called yellow card, and which was a funny thing. So you had to get out the yellow card, pay £65, and then you can get the national insurance number. Of course, I've done that, paid £65, got the national insurance number. 2 months later, they take off the yellow card. So yeah, money wise spent, but yeah, no
Oh,
comment. Yeah, happened. But now all Europeans, yeah, you can just apply for national insurance number without any problems. I think what also you need to have is a UK phone number. it's not a must, but definitely a good thing, because I know some banks, when opening a bank account, they need it to be UK. That's also one thing. Then second thing, you would have to get the bank account from a UK bank or a digital bank that is registered in the UK, like Revolut or TransferWise and so on. And then pretty much it's all up to you to polish that CV, to get as much help as possible to get it right, and to start sending it out, to look at jobs both on internet or just printing them out and start giving them around city.
What about you, At? What would be your tips for the job hunt?
Well, I think it is very important to have a part-time job while you're studying. Finding a job, it can be stressful, and it wasn't really easy for me as well. So when I was in the UK, because I don't really have like other European students have their privileges to work without any restrictions. So I had restrictions on hours. So I had only 10 hours allowed because I was a foundation program student. So when I moved to university, then I got 20 hours during the term time. So I had to utilize that 10 hours. So the fact is, like for the 10 hours, it is very, really difficult to find a job. But if you basically try to actually find something surround, I mean, where you live, for example, a corner shop, for example, an off license, for example, in a takeaway, just to pick up their phone calls and orders. So what they do, like actually employ you for 5 hours for Friday, 5 hours for Saturday. So that's how actually I started at the beginning after
All
one
right.
month, and as soon as I received my NI. And then when I actually completed my course and my term was over, then basically you can work full time. So during the Christmas period or during the summertime, I was working more hours. But you have to start with something at the beginning. Maybe if you want to find something perfect for you or your profession, or maybe the way you want to work, can be very difficult. But start with something what you have at this moment can lead you to what you want to work in future, rather than sitting in the home and also getting bored, just only focusing on study. Because that 5 hours Friday and Saturday's job used to give me such a diversion from study. And when I come back to study, for example, in Monday morning, I used to feel excited, rather feeling a monotonous one way go and one way ride to something really you don't really want to go and carry on always.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, I think that that's actually really relevant, like how people can use part-time jobs while studying to enrich their CV and to give them an extra boost while they're studying. Because, like, I don't know in your case, but in my case, I was paying for like all of my living costs out of like the money that I earned.
Mhm.
So I worked quite a lot, and this is not something that I recommend anybody should do. It's like I worked very, very hard throughout my entire degree, and I would like work, like study at night. So it would be just crazy hours. But those 3 years have formed a work ethic that is still present in my work today, just from like having ground myself to like raw. Basically, I did nothing but study and work. I have like the most amazing work ethic now. It's like, yeah, there's nothing that can stop me if I've done all of that work during those 3 years. Like, there's nothing that can like be worse than that.
Yeah,
Basically.
definitely. Yeah. And of course, finding a job, I think, as Stefan said, like, look into their websites. I mean, there are numerous job websites who actually receive advertisement from local listings. I mean, local, what do you call, small and medium businesses, and also offering your CV if you have time during the weekends when you are not doing anything. You can actually go to kind of like door to door, can ask and talk about the job. And I'm pretty much sure if you do this maneuver for like 1 or 2, 3 weeks, you'll get something. You have definitely end up with something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, go ahead, Stefan. Sorry.
All I wanted to say is just like what so now being here in our office in Nottingham, and we are quite close to university. I mean, literally maybe 50 meters away from university. So it's quite a lot of students pass here, and I do respect and I see a lot of and I appreciate the effort of students who come in into our office and always like with a CV or question like, "Hey guys, do you hire or do you have anything open, any job that you might can connect me with or something like that?" So that's a especially appreciation from my side of the courage to coming in. It's not always hard to go and kind of ask for a job from somebody you don't know. So I think that's also one of the ways you have to get out of your kind of comfort zone in that sort, and then go and you'll find a job very very quickly. But don't get me wrong, like it's not easy, it's not promised, so job is still like a job hunt in a way, although it's a part-time job, not a full-time job during studies. I think it also has its own difficultness in finding in a way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. What this reminds me of is I want to do a small, like, just a thing because we are hiring people. So I just want to tell everyone that we are actually hiring student advisors right now. We have our job post on LinkedIn in case you want to check it out. We would love to have you send your CV on to our amazing team of student advisors. It's going to be a really cool year to join. So you'd be joining our January Advisor Academy. You'd be training with all these amazing guys who show up every like week on our advisory lives. And you would be having advisory lives with me every single week. How great is that? What more can we offer? Come on, send us your CVs, send us your cover letters onto our LinkedIn, or send them to this person right here at s.longcar@okstudent.co.uk. Can't wait to read some more CVs from everyone who wants to be a great student advisor with us.
Now when you already said that, then I can see me getting like 60 emails in the next hour, so let's
That's
hope it's
the
going to be like
email,
that.
guys. That's the email. Send your
You know
CVs
what's the weird
and your
thing? You know
cover
what's the weird
letters.
thing? My phone just vibrated, so that's like very weird. Yeah.
That's the first application right
The
there.
first application, yes, correct.
It's an action. Yeah.
I wanted to say as well, I fully agree with both of you. I think I had a terrible time looking for a job in the UK, to be honest, when I got to Cambridge, because like it took me 3 months to find a job. I have no idea why. Nobody wanted me. Until basically I got a job in Jesus College, Cambridge, in their casual catering team, because the supervisor and a lot of the other team members were Portuguese. So that was basically how I got a job, was through like national affinity.
Yeah.
So when we were saying earlier that like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have friends of your nationality, take into account that they might help you find a job or they might help you find accommodation, for example. Um, like I found a lot of my accommodation in Cambridge I got because there was a Portuguese landlord that would rent out to Portuguese students for really, really cheap. And I know that there are a lot of communities who do this. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, how did you find accommodation? Have you ever come across like friends and family members or like members of the community who have offered you accommodation? And how did that go?
Yeah, so if I can, I think year one definitely is the toughest one to find accommodation because you're gonna be outside in your country, outside of UK, and then you have to find accommodation. Of course, the best tip would be to come here for a week or two, stay in a motel or hostel, then do a lot of viewings, like viewing every single hour. Go there and do it because definitely my advice would be to first view the property you're gonna move into and then move in. But yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't been smart in that occasion. So what I did is found on internet. Thankfully, it turned out to be good. Thankfully, because it was like a private hall that I could just move in. But trust me, then I've done it again. Again, I've been not smart. I won't say stupid, but not smart. So then searching in London accommodation, I also done through internet, and I had a horrible experience. So London, is just a crazy place when it comes to finding accommodation. So definitely people go early, go stay in a hotel, go stay in a motel, spend a little bit more money. It's going to be definitely worth it. So, but I
Get
would
an
say
Airbnb, call a friend who lives in London, anything. But
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, that didn't come my mind because yeah, well, I was trying to be brave, like I know everything well and so on. So well, that didn't turn out good. But yeah, I think that once you're in the, especially for bachelors, if you find yourself there in the city, start doing viewings during your, for example, first year in February or March for the next year. And that turned out for me to be a great thing. Found great accommodations for my the second and third year at bachelors, and I was much more happy than in my year one or in my masters in London when it comes to accommodation, of course.
AT, I think Stefan just admitted that his ego like harmed him. Was that what I heard? That you didn't
Yeah,
want
I
to
admit
ask
that.
for
No, I
help because
no,
you
no,
were
I admit that.
embarrassed?
I admit that on multiple occasions. I'm not ashamed of that. But yeah, I admit I'm not always right.
Did you learn anything from that experience, Stefan?
Correct, I did definitely. But that's
Okay.
it. University life, isn't it? All learning experience in a way.
It's all growing and all learning. Guys, I really advise you to join some Facebook groups for accommodation. Don't do the same mistake as Stefan. Do ask for help from people from your network. I am honestly, I'm on so many accommodation groups that I don't even have any use for. I'm on a Cambridge accommodation group. I'm on a London accommodation group. I'm on all the Berlin accommodation groups. And honestly, it's so nice because you get to kind of see the market and
Yeah,
who's like renting houses and who's not. I have like alarms for like houses in like different cities that go to my email weekly just so I can see like the market, the rental market and the purchase market and how that's going. And I've done that for years, basically ever since I've been in Cambridge, because I was like, I don't want to have to like search for accommodation out of nowhere. I want to have contacts. I want to have people. I want to know where I can post to find accommodation. And like, honestly, it has just been so much easier to find housing since that.
it's true. Yeah. Um, well, I actually um, had similar experience when I came to the UK. So, well, it was the same again, student from my same country. So we were renting one house, actually whether going to the student accommodation or finding any private accommodation. So we rented our own house and we were living together in one house. For example, there are 4 bedrooms, so we were four. And I'm still doing same. And but I agree with Stefan. I actually had an experience. I mean, different experience. In back in 2017, I went to Norway for my half year or half term, half semester.
Yeah,
Uh,
half term.
Actually, I lived there for 4 months. I did one of my semester there, and I had to go through like I had no idea like where I'm going at first, and I know nobody. And it's not UK where you find a lot of Bangladeshis. That's Norway, Oslo. So it was challenging. But I agree with Mariana. That's Facebook page and also university desk helped me to manage an accommodation. It was really cool, very neat, tiny, tidy, and beautiful place. And yeah, when I actually managed this, then I realized like not actually follow your own instinct. Rather, I mean, in some places where you are really new, better to take support from like those online Facebook groups, and it did help. And also, not only finding the room, I had to buy every single thing. So it again come with like a really great help. Those Facebook groups. I just posted if anybody actually selling their used items, and trust me, in Oslo, all those Facebook groups. I mean, there are numerous students who were actually leaving that time, and new students were coming. So we just exchange stuff, and
Exactly.
it was really helpful.
Exactly. Like I was going to say, I echoed that experience so much because, like, that happened to me when I went to Berlin, where it's like, I don't speak any German. I have no, like, connection to German culture whatsoever. So it was like being in Berlin, it was like being in a different planet where I couldn't understand anything of what people were saying. So I just supported myself so much on these like Facebook groups for English speakers, especially, or for queer people, for example, because it was so much easier to just be in those communities where everyone was kind of like facing the same difficulties and the same problems. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's true. Of course, and also like, sorry, Mariana.
No, the other thing that I was gonna say, because I was thinking about what I wanted to say, I'd forgotten. So I was like, oh, I knew that there was a second point, and it was about this thing that you were saying about buying things secondhand.
Yeah.
Where like in the UK you have these groups called Free Cycle. And they're so good because there's a Free Cycle group in every single city in the UK. And it's basically recycling where people just give away their unused items. And it's it's freecycle.org.uk, if I'm not mistaken, the URL. And it's really cool. You can just pick your city and you can pick like whatever it is that you're looking for. And you can see all of the ads that if somebody has stuff. And it's normally things like sofas, it's mattresses, it's beds, it's like wardrobes, it's all of this sort of thing. So it's really, really good if you've just moved to a country, if you've just moved to the UK, especially, and you need to buy stuff, check out Free Cycle first and check out the secondhand Facebook groups for your specific city. Check out Gumtree because potentially you're going to find a lot of stuff much cheaper there.
And you always have the charity shops, don't you? They're
And you
always
always
the
have the
ones in
charity
the
shop.
UK, so you can use for clothes, books, or whatever else. So it's just a matter of spending some time in them and trying to find what you need.
I think my hashtag is Sustainable Mariana. I'm not entirely
Sustainable.
sure, but I think that's it. Yeah, use like because Facebook now has a great new feature as well, right? Where it's the marketplace. It's amazing to like find things. I've honestly bought so much stuff off of Marketplace ever since. Thank you, Lokesh. I got a hashtag. It's Sustainable Mariana. Yay. So I bought so much stuff from the marketplaces on Facebook because you just speak to someone, you arrange a meeting place. Obviously, keep COVID safe always, guys, and don't like be 2 meters away from someone. If you're buying something, if you're buying clothes, especially wash them when they get home. All of this sort of thing. But it is really good for you to find stuff that you need.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Great to know about this. I didn't know that Free Cycle. I'll definitely have a go. I'll have a look into that.
I have a.
This is the baby teaching you both. You've both been here for more than 5 years and you didn't know about Free Cycle. This is why.
I mean, it's because it's our what do you call comfort zones now. We made it like that way. But
I know what I know, and I don't want to know more.
Cool.
I have a question for you two. So, like everybody's saying, I think in our lives how it is great to study in the UK. But I'm also thinking that there are a lot of, I mean, not a lot, but there are downside definitely. So, what I would ask you is 3 best things about studying in the UK and 3 worst.
Do you want to go first, AT?
No, please, you can go first. I'm very bad at
the weather. The weather is the worst thing. The weather. I'm going to start with the worst things. The weather is the worst things. The first worst thing, okay? Always the weather. Second, the price of freaking trains. Why is it cheaper to fly in the UK instead of taking a train? It does not sound good for the environment. Hashtag Sustainable Mariana says, do not fly, take a train, but be aware that they're very, 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 very expensive. And there is no reason why they're so expensive. Third worst thing. I think I only had 2, and now I'm stuck on my third worst thing.
I know you have to think of something. What is really
connected to the weather? It's like connected to the weather, which is the worst thing, is isolation in these houses. Like houses are incredibly damp and they're really badly isolated. So if you can, like my best investment when I was in the UK was buying an electric blanket for my bed. Definitely buy one if you can. It's very good. It's also not very...
What does it do? What is that? First time that I've heard of it.
Oh my God, you've never heard of an electric blanket? Wait, man, it's like this thing that you put on top of your mattress and then you put the sheet over it and you plug it in and it like warms your bed.
Wow.
And it's amazing.
Okay, I have to jump to the shops now very soon, but yeah,
Yes, I will send you the link so you can buy
yeah,
it.
100%.
They cost like
You
12
know,
pounds or something. And honestly, they're so good.
Yeah,
people are so
definitely. I
innovative.
need to try it.
People are so
Yeah.
innovative. I actually I didn't know about it. Thank you. Thanks again.
Hashtag
I'm
sustainable
glad I
Mariana.
got you all.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Now,
it
three
three
best. You have to do now three best things.
All right, three best things about studying in the UK. So, three best things. One, the lecturers and the contact that we have with lecturers and the support we have of lecturers. Two, university support. The support that I felt from all universities, like at large, academic staff, academic staff, like administrative staff, everyone in universities was always there to help me. And I really, really think this is one of the best reasons to come to the UK is that you can really develop yourself as a person because all of the university is working for you. They're there for you. You're not a number. You're like a person who has stuff that they want to say and who has stuff that they want to do. So definitely take advantage of all of the support, both the academic support and the university support at large. If you're having trouble finding a job, go to your employability office. If you're struggling with money, go to your finance office, ask for the hardship fund. These things exist, take advantage of them. I think those are the first two best reasons to study in the UK. And thirdly is the fact that you're going to meet so many people and you're going to open so much like your horizons in life. Like honestly, I'm only here now because I have friends in the UK, because I managed to work with the UK like through all of these years. If I hadn't done, like honestly, it's such a weird story because like if I hadn't done my degree in at Anglia Ruskin, if I hadn't met someone who went to Anglia Ruskin and then went to Anglia Ruskin, I would have never met either of you. I wouldn't be here right now. And it's such a life-changing thing that happens to you. And not only that, even if you don't make like best friends forever, if you don't get an amazing career, you're going to be so much more willing to move out of your own country and to get out of your comfort zone in this way. It makes you so much more of a confident person suddenly, because I mean, you leave home at 18, you go to a different country on your own. It doesn't matter the amount of support that you have. You're still on your own. You're still living your life suddenly as an adult. And that's like such a good thing. Honestly, it develops you as a person so much, and you're going to be light years ahead of everyone in your cohort because of that.
True. Very true.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Awesome.
Right.
18,
18.
3 worst and 3 best.
I'm really bad at doing these things, but I think I would go with Mariana. Like weather would be the one of the thing. I mean, the first worst thing. You don't really want to get this type of weather anywhere in the world. I mean, it's 1 minute raining, then another minute windy, then again next 10 minutes after it might be sunshine. You don't know. It's so unpredictable. So you better carry an umbrella or maybe adequate clothing for the weather. And second thing would be like, some of the places, for example, in London, I mean, the prices of, for example, the accommodation and also living expenses.
Can I just say, in relation to the weather, get yourself some thermal shirts, guys. Get yourself some thermal shirts. It's the best thing that I bought.
So the second worst thing would be the prices in some of the places. I mean, I wouldn't say everywhere, but mostly in the big cities, for example, in London, maybe in Manchester, also in Nottingham a bit. Like the prices and the living cost are a bit higher for the student compared to like a normal working person. Third would be, it's difficult actually. I'm not really sure about the third one. There's the two. Third one is emptied for Stefan to complete it. I'll go the three best things studying in the UK. I think Mariana have covered almost everything I would say, but I would like to tell people that is traveling. If you love traveling, UK is the best place while you're a student. During the weekends or maybe the weekdays where you don't have classes, you can plan traveling yourself or with a group in different places in the UK. During the summer, it's so beautiful. I mean, if it is sunny. Uh, so
On the one day when it's sunny of the entire year, on the one day you can go out.
1 or 2 days, yeah, you can go out. So I live quite close to the Peak District, and I really love to go there whenever I get time. So the nature is unparalleled. You cannot compare with anything else. And if you love nature, you must explore, and you have the actually chance, and it's not too expensive. I think traveling by the buses. Second thing would be like the UK cities. I would rank Cambridge first, then every other cities. I don't know. I don't want to rank because I've been to few of the cities, not all of them, but I found like Cambridge is the best so far as a tourist and as a student as well. The third thing would be, although I don't really go, but I think the nightlife is really exciting. And you often used to see when I was in the library for doing my assignment and stuff. So you're coming out late from the library, so you see people are enjoying it. It actually makes you jealous. Why can't you go and enjoying them? But it's this really, really a buzzy, funny, and entertaining place. The uni campuses are. So yeah, those are the three things.
Awesome.
Stefan.
Stefan, you're not going to get rid of your own question. Go ahead. Three worst
My
things.
turn.
The
No, I'll
academic.
start with the best. I'll start with the best. The worst one I'm gonna leave to the end. So three best things. Number one, you can study sports, volunteer, academia, everything in 1 week and in 1 day even. I would say. So I think that's beautifulness of studying in the UK, that you can manage to do extracurricular activities and even show your hobbies, do them, go join societies, do sports and so on. So that's number one. Number two is the multiculturality, and food is amazing. Although I'm not talking about British cuisine here, I'm talking about world cuisine here. It's really amazing. You can try food from all over the world. So I would say that I love that part. And the third best thing is London. I would definitely say, in one word, the capital, in my opinion, has to be the best for a young person in the UK.
How? Why? Explain. I do not. I disagree so much. I like that hurts my soul.
Well, you see, the thing is, I lived there for a year, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, it is busy. Yes, it is dirty. Yes, it is rainy. Yes, all of those things. But it's amazing in its own way. So I think that I was just like, every time that I had a visit from a friend, we were just walking around in London, and just looking at those buildings, looking at those museums, which are free, which is also one of the positives of London. Just like looking at, it just writes his own story. So I really, really enjoy London, and that would be the three best things for me. Now the worst things, I would say January, February, March. So 3 months in the year when you come back from your Christmas holiday is gray for 3 months, brick on the left, brick on the right, gray up, gray down, and that is how 3 months in the UK or year are. So I'm including the weather and the architecture, and everything is just not for those 3 months. But
I,
for me, other nine are perfect. Other nine are beautiful.
I really think you like set up this entire question just to be able to make that joke of like three
Yeah.
worst things are January, February, and March.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm can neither confirm or deny, and so yeah.
Also, my birthday's in March, so I'm taking that one personally. March is the best month of the year because it's my birthday.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's for me, it's individual, isn't it? So it's very subjective.
Well,
You should be happy, Stefan, because it's my birthday.
I will be. Hopefully, we can celebrate it. Hopefully, this pandemic is gonna at least quiet down a little bit so we
No,
can
man,
celebrate
I
it.
can't have another quarantine birthday. It's like literally, my birthday is on the 17th of March. which like on the 16th of March was when the UK went into lockdown last year. So I really can't do another birthday in quarantine, guys. I'm sorry, I can't.
They say one in a lifetime is more than enough.
Exactly. There we go. We don't want any more.
Yeah.
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 Guys, shall we finish this? Do you have any parting words?
Well, of course. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm so happy to be back, and of course to join with you and Stefan. Although me and Stefan, we talk a lot when we are in the office, but I think I'm going to miss you because of this new tier 3 implementation. So, well, of course, that could be another thing, like how we can actually meet up and talk. And yes, if anybody is watching us, or maybe anybody will watch us later, please, for your proper guidance for UK settle down, and also when you first arrive, please get in touch with OK Student. We will try our best to advise you or guide you through the process.
Stefan, any parting words?
Yeah, great to you both. Looking forward to this pandemic to quiet down and finish, so we can all have this chat over a coffee somewhere here in Nottingham. And yeah, that's it. It was great to talk to you too.
Man, it's going to be great when we can actually do these advisory lives, all of us in the same place. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to everyone who was watching us. Don't forget, if you have any questions about coming to the UK and studying, if you want to apply for September 21 or January 21 or any other intake, let us know. If you're looking for an undergraduate, a master's, a PhD, we can help you. So definitely send us an email at info@okstudent.co.uk or send us your details through the form at okstudent.co.uk/form. And we'll give you an advisor who is a person who will look after your entire process just for you. Thank you so much. Follow us on all our social medias. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Medium, and we're on TikTok, apparently. So, guys, it's at OK_student. Follow us there. Watch our lives. We have a brand new live called Applicant Live, which is with some of our applicants being interviewed by their advisor, by their student advisor. So do watch it, because it's very, very fun, and it will give you a bit of an insight into what the OK Student process exactly is and how we can help you with your processes and with your applications. Don't forget, we're hiring for student advisors. So if you think you'd be a great student advisor, if you want to help us recruit more students to come over to the UK, send us your CV to s.longcar@okstudent.co.uk. And we're also still looking for creatives of all areas. So if you do some art, if you make music, if you paint, whatever you do, send us an email at info@okstudent.co.uk. Yes, info@okstudent.co.uk. Thank you so much, Lokesh, for managing our program. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.